Hello, everybody. Oh, I've missed doing this. For some of you that know, it's been a little bit since I have done one of these, and I'm really excited. So glad you're here, whether you're watching it live or later on. We're talking about allergy season today, and um, I'm going to start with this because I want your head to wrap around like what I'm going to be going through today. Because if you think about it, it's like, why is it that every spring, when everything starts to bloom, okay, some people are totally fine. Like I am totally fine. Nothing has happened to me this season of pollen, and my car is covered in it and all of that. Yet other people are suffering. They have congestion, they have sinus pressure, they have headaches, they have fatigue, and they have brain fog. And I think about, because like I'm in Tennessee, so what we hear all the time in Tennessee is that like ever since I moved here, like my allergies have been terrible. Or people say like, gosh, just spring hits me, they know it's coming, like they already are getting their medications, they have all of the stuff ready because they know that pollen is coming, spring is coming, and it's like worse for them than it is anyone else. And for some people, and you might be on this right now, is like it feels like it's even more than allergies, because like you're just like exhausted and you're just like tired, and it's like you should not be, because it's like nice outside and the sun is finally out and we're not in like winter darkness anymore and it's not cold. And like most people during this time are told that it's just pollen. So like the problem is pollen. But if that were true, if pollen was indeed the actual problem right now, then it would affect all of us, every single one of us. So why does it affect one person and not the other person? That is what we're going to go through, okay? We're going to go through what's actually happening in your body when you have allergies, when there's congestion, like what is happening, why this keeps coming every single year, and what you can actually do about it. So let's get in, okay? Because I want to simplify this and make it in a way that's not overcomplicated, but in a way that you can truly understand, okay? Because a lot of people, you think that allergies are just about what you are exposed to, okay? There's pollen in the air, so of course I'm reacting. But allergies are not just exposure, okay? They are a response from your immune system. So in other words, it's not just what's around you, it's about how your body is responding to what's around you. Because that's why two people can be in the same exact place, they can breathe the same exact air, and one person is totally fine and the other person feels miserable. So what happens when pollen enters your body? When pollen enters your body, okay, your immune system sees it as a threat. So it activates your immune system. And one of the main things that it releases is histamine, okay? Histamine is what helps to create those classic allergy symptoms like the sneezing, the runny nose, the watery and itchy eyes, the congestion. So listen, yes, pollen may be the trigger for your body, but histamine is a big part of what makes you feel the way that you feel. Okay? So histamine, this is where most people don't realize it. It doesn't just affect your nose or your sinuses or your eyes, okay? It can affect your whole body. So that means that when histamine is released, especially a lot of it, and your body overreacts from it, you get things like fatigue, like brain fog, like headaches. You can get irritable. You can have skin issues. You can feel puffy. You can feel inflamed. So if you've ever like thought to yourself, like, why do I just feel off, like not just like congested, but I am just like, I am not myself. This is why. Because your body's having a bigger inflammatory response than you even realize. So your immune system, okay, it should know the difference. So it should know what's dangerous and what's not dangerous. That's part of its job. Like, that is why you have your immune system. That's how God created it. It's like, it should know what's safe and what is not safe, okay? It's supposed to protect you from the things that are actually a threat. But when it becomes dysregulated, it starts reacting to things that are not actually dangerous, like pollen. So the issue isn't just pollen itself. The issue is that your body is reacting too strongly, and that's what I want you to understand tonight. So why does that happen in our bodies? One of the biggest pieces in all of this is your gut. My allergies could be a gut issue. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm like 99% pretty sure it is here, if it's you. Why? A huge portion of your immune system is connected to your gut. So if your gut is inflamed, irritated, or out of balance, your immune system then tends to get more reactive too. So this is why people with allergy issues, they tend to deal with other things like digestive issues, food sensitivities, bloating, skin issues, inflammation. If the gut is off, the immune system will often just get confused. So when your body is already carrying this like load, it's layer by layer by layer, and there's more to it than even just your gut, and there's more to it like stress and poor sleep and toxins and inflammation. So most people, you don't go into spring like on a fresh season and it's like, yay. No, like if you think about it, just a couple months ago, it was Christmas and it was Thanksgiving and it was the new year and it was like all of this. So our bodies have been overwhelmed for probably months. And then now it's going into pollen. So things like chronic stress and poor sleep and inflammatory foods and toxins and not enough recovery. If you've been sick previously, like maybe you get sick like right at the beginning of the year, your body is already under this pressure. And then spring hits and everything blooms and pollen rises. And suddenly your body's like, ah. That's why it can feel like your allergies like come out of nowhere. But really what's happening is your system was already overwhelmed before allergy season even started. So spring, okay, may not start the problem. It just might reveal it. This is why allergies are usually worse after a stressful season, after getting sick, after moving to a new environment, moving to Tennessee, when life like feels more chaotic. So again, spring may not be starting the problem. It might just be revealing that your body is already overloaded. And that's why for so many people, like pollen is just the last straw. It's not the whole story. It's only part of the story. So why do you feel the way that you feel? Okay. The sinus congestion, the pressure like in your face, the headaches, you might have post-nasal drip, the fatigue, the brain fog. A lot of times people will treat those as separate issues, that they're not quite connected, but they are often connected, okay? These symptoms are usually signs that inflammation is high in your body and it's reacting to that inflammation, okay? Your sinuses, okay? They swell when your immune system gets activated. So that inflammation, though, can be triggered by things like pollen and mold and dust and even certain foods, like in some people. So like sinus congestion isn't something that's like random. Like it is not just like bad luck that you have it. It's a signal. It's your body saying like, I'm irritated, I'm inflamed, I'm reacting. And when that inflammation stays high, it can affect how you feel far beyond even just your nose. So when inflammation stays high long enough, then you start to deal with things like chronic sinus congestion, like it doesn't go away. Frequent sinus pressure, reoccurring headaches, fatigue, the brain fog, feeling like you just can't fully like clear things out. So listen, again, you're like, but it is the pollen that's going in. It's like irritating it. But it's like, no, it's not the pollen that's doing it. It's like, why is your body reacting to these things? So it's bigger than just pollen. Okay. And it's not just a nose problem. This is a system problem. So the missing piece for a lot of people, and one that almost nobody talks about, your nervous system. Okay. Your nervous system is the control center of your entire body. It helps you regulate how your body responds to stress, how your immune system behaves. What controls your immune system? Your nervous system. What controls your gut? Your nervous system. Everything is ran and controlled by your nervous system. And it also affects how well your body adapts to what's happening around you. So when we talk about allergy symptoms, we cannot ignore the nervous system because it is helping run the entire show. So think about this, okay? When your nervous system is regulated, your body can adapt better. How many of you want your body to adapt better? Me. Absolutely me. That means that if your body can adapt better, that means that it can process stress better, it can respond better. But, and there's a big but here, when your nervous system is overwhelmed, overloaded, stuck in stress mode, your body becomes more reactive. It overreacts. And that's why it can show up as stronger allergy symptoms. They just don't go away. They come back every single year, slower recovery. So they're lasting longer, even with all the medication that you take. There's more inflammation that's happening. Like maybe it was in your nose, now it's in your head, more sensitivity. And it can be even sensitivity to like your environment, but like food sensitivities, like your body's just more sensitive. So yes, allergies are immune related, but they are deeply connected to how well your body is adapting overall. So let's talk about this right here. Stress is a big thing. Dr. Gussie, I thought you were going to just tell me like what I could do for it. I'm going to, but if you know me, we talk about root causes and we are going to get to the root. I'm going to tell you about supplements, but no supplement will ever change this. The foundation. Think about it. And I mean, we can be honest, right? Most of us today are not under less stress at all. We're overstimulated. We're busy. We're not sleeping enough. We're always on. We're not fully recovering. So your nervous system is staying at this heightened state. And when your nervous system stays stressed, your immune system becomes more reactive. This is why, again, when you are stretched thin, it's just a recipe for your body to overreact to something that is so simple as just pollen in the air or some dust that is everywhere. So I'm going to tell you from a chiropractic perspective, this matters a lot. When I think about health, I always look at it from a chiropractic perspective because a chiropractic perspective says a better communication equals better adaptation in your body. And I think about it from every area. I'm like looking for the cause. Like it's called Doctor of Chiropractic. At the end of my name, it says DC, but we always like say it's Doctor of Cause. We're looking for the cause. What is happening? And when I think about it, I'm like, your body is designed to heal. It's designed to regulate. It's designed to adapt, but it can only do that well when communication is working well. If there's interference in the nervous system, the body doesn't adapt well as it was designed to in the first place. So when we talk about helping the body during allergy season, we're not just talking about like chasing symptoms. And like, how do I just make my nose run less? Like, how do I make it not so stopped up? Like, how can I get my eyeballs to stop itching? No, we're talking about helping the body function better and respond better. And that is a different way of thinking. And you can insert, we're talking about allergies, but you can insert anything into there. Any symptom, any problem, looking for the cause. So Let's get into some practical steps, okay? But I'm going to tell you, we're not just fighting symptoms, okay? We want to support your system. So what do we actually do, okay? The goal isn't, how do I just feel better for a couple hours? Like, how do I get my body to just feel better? No, bigger thinking, okay? Not what can I take right now? I'm asking you to think differently. How do I help my body become less reactive? So, how do we do that? First and foremost, you have to support your nervous system. This is foundational. Foundational. So, simple ways to do that. You can see it right there. Get outside regularly, breathe deeply, protect your sleep, slow your system down on purpose. And get checked, get your nervous system checked. It is possible. As chiropractors, especially max living chiropractors, like we can assess your nervous system and see how it is functioning and where there's misalignments, where there's interference, where your body's not able to adapt. Because the more regulated that your nervous system is, the better that your body can adapt. But we have to work with it. And for some of you, I need you to pick some of those things out. But I'm going to tell you, if you've never been checked, you need to get checked. I'm going to tell you how to be able to do that at the end. So if you're in Nashville, how to do it. If you're watching from somewhere else, where you can go to make sure that you can get your nervous system checked. Number 2, support your gut. Remember, if your gut is inflamed, irritated, or stressed, your immune system is going to be more reactive as well. So focusing on real whole foods, less processed food, less sugar. And here's the big one. More consistency. I cannot stress that enough. It's one thing that we just can't quite get right. And I'm going to tell you, I get it. I just did this program and it was like for 5 weeks. And I was like, my gosh, this is really hard to just like focus on this for 5 weeks and not like have a little cheat meal here and there, or even like healthier things that weren't on the plan. Like it was so hard to stay consistent. I mean, I did, but it was hard. And I know consistency is hard, but this is real. Like to help your gut, you have to be super, super consistent with all of those things. But your body does better when it has the raw materials that it needs, just like that. Okay. Now, another part of this is hydrate and lower the overall load on your body. Okay. A lot of you are more dehydrated than you even realize. And it has a big effect on like histamine, how the immune system works, like the entire body itself, because there's like liquids coming out. Like it needs to all be balanced. But that makes it harder for your body to process and clear things well if you're dehydrated. Okay. What they say, half your body weight in ounces. Yes, that is true. But I also now believe in trace minerals and putting trace minerals in your water, and a little bit of salt to help your body actually absorb the water that you're drinking. And I want you to look at the bigger picture here, especially when it comes to like lowering the load. What does that mean? Ask yourself, like, where can I lower my stress? Where can I clean up inflammation? Like, is it coming from my food? Is it coming from the things that I drink? Like, am I eating out too much? Am I eating seed oils? Like, where can I clean up inflammation? And then where can I reduce what's burdening? Where can you reduce what's burdening your system? You're like, and honestly, like you just have to take a minute and just be intentional. Like, where is this coming from? Okay. Because it's not about the pollen. Okay. It's not about the pollen. It's about all of the load on your body that's responding to something that is completely normal. Now, I want to talk about some key nutrients that are so good to take. Now, I want to be really clear. Okay. Supplements are not solutions by themselves. Okay. We are not taking supplements like from not eating good food. Okay. We are not, that's not what it is. They support your body. Okay. But they don't replace. All right. Your nervous system, your lifestyle, your foundation. These are all like these nutrients right here are tools. They're not a fix for it. Okay. But these are some of the most common nutrients like that are needed during allergy season to help your body. Like they all work in like slightly different ways, but the goal is exactly the same. Okay. Help your body to respond better and not just suppress symptoms. So we're going to go through these right here. So the first one, why vitamin C, why quercetin? This is histamine support. So lowering that like histamine response that just keeps coming, overreacting. So one option that we use a lot, and especially Dr. Michael, like he's had to use less and less of it, but it's one of the things that helped him get over the edge. Like if somebody mowed the grass, he had allergies so bad. So it was like, it was terrible. It was so bad. He couldn't breathe. And we were sick of doing like allergy medicine. And then once we started getting into chiropractic and learning what's the cause, why is this happening, he was getting adjusted. There were still some things that his body needed support with. So we started taking what's called Hista-Ease by Designs for Health. And the reason that we like this and like you can take vitamin C by itself, you can take quercetin by itself, but both of those are in Hista-Ease. Okay. So it combines the two big ones, the vitamin C and the quercetin, but also goes a step further. So let me tell you first, like what vitamin C. So vitamin C helps your body. It acts like a natural antihistamine, and then it supports lowering inflammation. And quercetin, this helps stabilize what's called mast cells. Mast cells in your body are what push out the histamine and release histamine. So it helps to stabilize those cells so that your body isn't overreacting to things like pollen and dust and mold. But why I like this is because there's other stuff inside of it too that are also super beneficial, like stinging nettle. So it helps naturally regulate your histamine response. There's also NAC or N-acetylcysteine. So this supports detox pathways and it helps to thin mucus that can also help with sinus congestion. There's bromelain in it. And so that's an enzyme that helps reduce inflammation and also helps support any type of like sinus drainage. There also is some vitamin D in it, not a whole lot, but and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, but your vitamin D helps to regulate your immune system so then it responds appropriately and not excessively. Okay, so this supplement itself is designed to help your body calm down and respond better overall. It's supporting your system, so system, not symptoms, and not just like masking what's happening. It's giving your body some of those building blocks, extra of them that you may not get from your food. Now, vitamin D and zinc, why those? It has more to do with your immune regulation, okay? I just talked about it. Vitamin D, huge, okay? Huge for immune regulation. With vitamin D, you might need to just like up your dose. Like if you're starting to, you're like, okay, I need some more vitamin D in my body, help regulate my immune system, support my immune system. Low levels of vitamin D are linked to more inflammation and increase allergy risk, period. Just that in and of itself if you have lower vitamin D levels. So you're not taking vitamin D to heal your allergies. You're taking it because even low ones can cause your allergies to happen. And then zinc. Okay. Zinc also helps balance your immune function. And then it also helps to reduce stress on your immune system. These two right here, remember, it's all about helping your body respond appropriately, especially in the immune system, so it's not responding excessively. And then I have an asterisk by the probiotics, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. But we talked about the gut and the immune support. And the reason I don't have a lot of supplements there and why this has an asterisk on it is because on that circle that you see right there with the lady, and then that's a test. So it's a GI effects test from Genova. And I do these tests. And what I found is that not everyone needs a probiotic, and that I know too much about the gut health and your body and how it works, that it's like a thumbprint and a fingerprint of what's happening in your gut is different than the next person that's sitting next to you. And like some people need probiotics, some people don't need probiotics. Some people have an overgrowth of bacteria in their body and they need to kill some. And like some people need like more fiber, some people need less fiber. And like there's a whole thing. Some people have leaky gut, some people don't. So when I'm doing this, I can't just give you a blanket one when it comes to the gut because it's so complex. And you want to be very specific when you are healing your gut, supporting your gut, and knowing what yours is like. But our gut and our immune system, they're deeply connected, right? Probiotics, okay, they do help balance out your gut bacteria. And that's going to directly affect how your immune system responds. So if your gut is off, we have to be able to support it. Okay. Now, even if you have an overgrowth, there is something, and if you're like, I can't do a GI effects test right now, GI Replenish, I have it right here. The spore-based probiotics help so that if you have a overgrowth, you're not going to cause more overgrowth, and where there's a smaller amount, it will help support it without creating an overgrowth. So if you're like, I need to just like support my gut, spore-based probiotics are the way to go. That is what GI Replenish is. So if you're going to do one without getting a GI effects test, get a spore-based probiotic to be able to do it. Now, if you were like, what's like the simplest thing that I can start with when it comes to that? I would do Histaese and I would do vitamin D. Okay. You can also put zinc in there and you can put the GI Replenish, but those two, vitamin D and then the Histaese, like, where do I start? Simple place. It supports your histamine. There's some gut support in there, immune balance, without being super overwhelming or just all of a sudden now taking a bunch of supplements. But remember, supplements can be helpful, but they are not magic. Okay. It is not magic. They don't replace your sleep, reducing your stress, your nervous system function, and real food. Okay. They support your system, but the foundation still has to be addressed. Okay. No supplement can override any of that. Okay. Now, I want you to, like, finally, we're like moving into the end. I want you to think long-term. Okay. There's nothing wrong with wanting like relief. Okay. Of course, right? Of course you want relief. Okay. But symptom relief alone does not answer the deeper question of why your body is reacting this way in the first place. Okay. This might be a shift for you. Okay. A shift in your thinking. And I want you to not just say, how do I like survive this allergy season? Or how do I get relief? Like, how can I just get my head to stop pounding? Like, that's a better question. But I want you to be like, how do I help my body handle it better? Because that is where the real change starts. And you think differently and you act differently and you support your body the way that it was made and designed, because you think more long-term instead of just, how do I get rid of these symptoms as fast as I possibly can? Okay. The big takeaway here, you don't just have an allergy problem. You have an adaptation problem. Your body is struggling to handle the load. And once you understand that and think differently, everything starts to make more sense, which is what Emma says on YouTube. She says, this makes so much sense. I know. And it makes so much sense. And again, insert whatever symptom that you may have into thinking differently. And I'm going to remind you again that your body is not broken. Okay. It's actually trying to protect you. The problem is that it's responding in a way that's bigger, that's louder, and it's more exhausting than it needs to be. So instead of being frustrated with your body, start asking, how do I support it better? And that question, I promise you, changes everything. Where can I support my body better? And that's why we teach the 5 essentials in our office. Like, we start with the nervous system, but then we talk about nutrition and exercise and detoxing our body and our mindset and our sleep and our water, like all of those things that help our body. And I'm going to, like, I know that maybe even some, like, there's got to be more that I can do. There's got to be more than this. And I'm going to tell you that there is. Okay. And this is where you start. This is exactly why we do what we do. We want you to help to understand your body. We want to get to the root, and we want to stop guessing. And not just every single spring, we're talking about allergies, but in anything, stop guessing at what's happening and look to the root. So let's talk about what action steps, like I gave you all those ones, pick 1 or 2 that you're going to start to do. But if you are ready to go to the next step, like, we'd love to help you. And whether it's you, or if you are thinking about somebody right now that should hear this, please, like if they have sinus issues, they struggle every year with allergy season, they have headaches, they have congestion, they have fatigue, they have the brain fog, they just feel miserable this time of year, invite them to listen to this. Or you can invite them, if they're local, right into Nashville, like figuring out what their body is doing. We do a nervous system check. That's where we start. Everything runs and controls from there. Then we will start to work on anything and everything else. I'm going to put a link in the comment section live, and then I'll also put it at the end of this. This is how they can schedule right online there. And if you are listening from somewhere else, or maybe you're like, well, I know somebody who lives in like Florida. Like, is there somebody that you know that could help them in Florida? Yes. If you go to maxliving.com, right underneath, you'll see find a clinic. They can click that and they can find an office that is just like ours, close to where they are, and see if there's someone close to them. And then lastly, you can see, I'm going to put one more comment in there for you guys. Should be going through. I want to talk about the GI effects test. And if you have tried all of those things, you're like, I've done all of that, like nothing is helping, and you've got your nervous system checked and you're like, I'm still struggling, you need to do a GI effects test. That means you need to see what's happening inside of your gut. And there's two different ones that we do, okay? The one in the middle, GI effects from Genova Diagnostics, that is for adults, okay? You do a stool sample, you do it at home, and I get the results and we go through it and we can see if there's any inflammation, if there's leaky gut, if you have an overgrowth, like to help balance out your gut. So then it can help to bring your immune system back to not overreacting and helping it heal so things aren't leaking out and your body's overreacting and there's autoimmune and all that. That one. And then we just started doing this because of our son, and he was born C-section. And I knew that I needed to see what his gut was like. So we have Tiny Health. And so Tiny Health is for babies and even adults, but we're doing Tiny Health mainly for babies. And what's crazy is that he was born November 26th, the day before Thanksgiving. And so it's our first allergy season, right, with him. And we were sucking boogers out of his nose, like he couldn't breathe out of his nose. Like, and I was like, do you have like allergies? Like, what's happening? So he gets adjusted. Like, we give him probiotics. We are doing formula, but we're putting like probiotics in it. But I'm like, I don't actually really know if these are the probiotics that he needs. And then I found Tiny Health. And so we were able to do a stool sample by taking a specimen from his diaper, and we sent it off. And you guess what? He has an overloaded histamine response. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is where it's coming from. So now we know to support his histamine, exactly what probiotics we need to be doing, how to support his little body as much as we can. And it just feels like so freeing. And knowing that we caught it early. So if you have babies that have allergies or like eczema or those kinds of things, a Tiny Health gut test is what you need to get for them. And we can read through it. We'll go through it, help your little babies support exactly what they need to do. It's a new one that we just started doing, but I don't just like buy those and do it. I want to do a consult with you first to make sure that's exactly the direction that we need to go. That is what I put in the link in there. It's my Calendly. It's a 30-minute consult with me, and we can talk through if that's the right direction to go. If you live here in Nashville, we have them in our office that you can pick up. Or if you live somewhere else, I can also do it. I can send those tests directly to you, to your home. So, yes. And no more guessing. No more guessing. This isn't just about pollen. Your body is sending you signals and signs, and it has the ability to heal. I always check to see if there's any questions. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the comments. I don't see any here. I'll give it just a couple seconds. Just know that I love you guys. I appreciate you. I believe in your body. I believe in the way that it was made, and your body can heal. It was made that way. And this will be the last season that you have with allergies. I'm believing for it, but now you know how to support it. So begin doing it. Don't let this just be information that you heard. Good job. Great. Leave. Don't do anything about it. Put it on the shelf. Nope. What are you going to do right now? What are you going to do tomorrow to begin supporting your body that maybe it hasn't been in the past? Okay. We'll see you guys. Have a great one.